TaxAct is here anytime you want to easily file your taxes. TaxAct is here for the early birds who like to knock them out as soon as the season opens. And for the procrastinators who like to wait until the very last minute. TaxAct is also here for the middlers who file right in the middle of tax season. No one ever talks about the middlers, but TaxAct sees you, and TaxAct respects you. TaxAct. Let's get them over with.
Excuse me! Taxi! Come on, what are you doing?
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Friday night. With us today is Senator Dave McCormick from the great state of Pennsylvania. And there's so many things going on, but one good friend, one smart guy. Well, Senator, it's Friday night. We got a weekend that we don't know what's going to happen yet with between Iran and Pakistan and Israel. Any gut feeling?
Well, listen, I mean, I think the president was clear from day one that we had to achieve the military objectives, which is getting rid of ballistic missiles and drones, manufacturing capability launchers, and making sure Iran can't have a nuclear weapon. And we're at a fork in the road here. The military has done an incredible job of taking away a lot of their capability, and the Iranians have a decision. And I think the president's been very clear. I hope they choose a path to a peaceful resolution, but we should be highly skeptical of the Iranians because they've proven that they're going to lie over and over again, but they've also taken a real beating here. So I'm hoping they come to their senses, and we'll have to see. The president's been very strong.
The other thing we're concerned about is the fact that they want to change the Strait of Hormuz into the Panama Canal and get paid on every ship. And I don't think the president was very happy on that.
No, can't happen and shouldn't happen. Listen, this is a regime that's shown itself to be bankrupt in every way, and they can't have enriched uranium, and they can't have control of the Strait of Hormuz. And I think that five presidents have been saying that they can't have nuclear weapons. This one acted, and our military's been spectacular, and our military has a lot more capability even than it's used, and I hope we don't have to use it, but I think we've now put them in a position where they can choose peace. I hope they will, but it's up to them.
Now, I'm in the oil business, and from your great state of Pennsylvania, and we have our own pipelines going to Canada, and we're in great shape. Everything's great. North America, by the way, has no problems in oil, and for some reason, WTI, which is North American crude oil, Western, went higher than Brent, which is European crude oil. And I can't figure that out. Have you figured that out at all?
I don't know why there's that variation. I mean, the big picture, as you say, John, our president made a decision, which is in direct conflict with President Biden, which is we want to be energy dominant, and we need to develop our fossil fuels, oil, natural gas. Pennsylvania is uniquely blessed, and so but we're a net exporter. But as you know, we're dependent on certain types of fuel at this point. But we're a net exporter of energy, and I think what we're seeing is that the markets are reacting to the uncertainty, and markets, as you know, hate uncertainty, and we're less affected by it than a lot of other places because the president's the steps he's taken. But this is where it makes it clear we need to double down on permitting reform and all the things that are going to make us even more energy dominant in the future. And my hope here is that when we get through this Iran thing, you're going to have a different world. And this is a world where, in terms of oil reserves, Venezuela has 18% of the reserves in the world and are going to be much more favorable to America. And Iran, which has 12%, will hopefully be much more favorable to America. And you'll have changed the map in that 30% of oil reserves in the world, petroleum reserves in the world, will be much more favorable to the United States. So if we get through this in the way that I hope and think we will, it's going to be a much more favorable environment. But right now, a lot of uncertainty is creating a lot of price movement, and in Pennsylvania, it's a big deal. I mean, I've spent the last couple of days. I was up in Tioga County. I'm just in Dauphin County now, on my way to Philadelphia, and gas is up $1 a gallon, and people feeling that. If you're making $50,000 a year and you got another dollar per gallon, that's a pressure that people don't want to take on for very long.
Senator, I've been in the oil business for over 45 years in Pennsylvania, and I've seen this come and go, and I said to everybody that once the war is over, you're going to see crude oil back to anywhere from $55 to $65 a barrel, and we'll be back to normal. Then the next challenge we have is to make sure we bring the interest rates down, because Chairman Powell, I think, is playing a little bit of politics. And, we got to get those interest rates down.
We got to get our new chairman in there. My committee, the banking committee, will hopefully have Kevin Warsh before us in the next 2 weeks. And I've known him for 30 years. President made a great choice. And the reason he made a great choice, there's a really important thing to know about him, which is very different than Chairman Powell, which is this is a guy who grew up in a middle class, lower middle class family in upstate New York. He knows what it's like when prices go up, and the burden it places on working families, and he spent time in markets, and he's a reformer who wants change. He's got a servant's heart. So this is a guy that's not some pointy-headed economist that's going to come in there with a book full of models. This is a guy that kind of has a feel for the real economy and for monetary policy, someone who understands the Fed and who's going to reform it and is going to undo some of the damage that Powell's done. Powell's been wrong, in my opinion, not only on the timing of his interest rate rise and cuts, being much too slow to come down, but he's also let the models drive the Fed's behavior, and I don't think he's been a strong voice for reform. I think it's time for reform.
Senator Dave McCormick, thank you so much for coming on this Friday evening, and let's catch up again real soon.
Thanks, John.